This small disc of copper-plated steel, the 2 euro-cent coin, is arguably the most common piece of currency in one of the world's largest economic zones, yet it hides a history of immense political friction and technical innovation, and the kind of rare errors that could turn 2 cents into $20,000. Everyone has one of these in a jar, pocket, or abandoned on a table, but almost no one truly knows what they are holding or why this tiny fraction of a euro exists at all. We are not talking about a commemorative 2 euro piece or some silver collector item. We are talking specifically about the 2 euro-cent coin. This is not a story about how you will definitely find a priceless artifact in your couch cushions, but it is a meticulous examination of the 2010 issue of this currency and how this specific denomination became a flashpoint for economic and cultural debate, an unsung hero of the monetary union, and in some rare cases a literal jackpot for those who understood the markings of the royal mints better than the mints themselves. The 2010 2 euro-cent coin is particularly interesting because it falls into a period where several major issuing nations significantly reduced their mintages, a decision that retrospectively injected unexpected scarcity into some of the issues from that year. The 2 euro-cent coin issued in 2010 is a paradox. It is simultaneously one of the most valueless pieces of money and one of the most culturally significant. Its existence is a direct promise made to the people of Europe that the introduction of a massive single currency would not be used by retailers as an excuse for aggressive price rounding. It was a commitment to price stability and consumer protection, a physical manifestation of faith in low-denomination commerce. The common side, the reverse side, was a creation of the Belgian designer Luc Luix of the Royal Belgian Mint, a common motif shared by every single 2 euro-cent coin minted anywhere in the Eurozone. The reverse side of the 2010 2 euro-cent coin features a globe shown on the bottom right. This globe emphasizes Europe in relation to Africa and Asia, a deliberate artistic choice to showcase the continent's place in the world. The image is crossed by 6 fine diagonal lines connecting 12 stars, one at each end. These 12 stars are not just decoration. They are a standard requirement of the European Union, symbolizing unity, solidarity, and harmony among the peoples of Europe. The image of the globe also highlights the 15 members of the European Union at the time of the design's creation, a detail that instantly dates the artistic intention of the coin to the turn of the millennium, while the specific year 2010 is clearly marked on the national side of the coin. The numeral 2 is prominent along with the words Eurocent. The designer's initials are subtly placed near the globe, a signature on a design that would go on to be replicated billions of times across 20 different countries. But the story of the 2010 2 euro-cent coin is not just its design, it is its composition. It has a diameter of 18.75 millimeters, of thickness of 1.67 millimeters, and a mass of 3.06 grams. It is made of copper-plated steel. This composition is crucial for 2 primary reasons. Firstly, it makes the coin magnetic, a necessary feature for its automated handling in vending and sorting machines. Secondly, the use of copper-plated steel keeps the production cost of the coin low, an important consideration for a denomination that is constantly in circulation and often lost or discarded. However, the cost of producing the 1 and 2 euro-cent coins has been a perennial point of contention. For years, the metal and minting costs have approached or even slightly exceeded the face value of the coin. This is an economic absurdity, the government spending more to create the currency than the currency is worth in circulation. This factor alone has been the single biggest driver of the decision by several Eurozone countries to stop minting the denomination entirely. The specific year 2010 is notable because it follows the initial high-volume minting period and precedes or coincides with a decision by several key nations to begin the phase-out or reduction of these smaller coins, making the 2010 mintage figures particularly important for collectors. The national side, the obverse of the 2010 2 euro-cent coin, is where the coin's real individuality and potential rarity lies. While the reverse is standardized, the obverse is unique to the issuing country. When you pick up a 2010 2 euro-cent coin, you are not just holding 2 cents of value, you are holding a piece of national history or contemporary culture from one of the 19 countries that use the euro as their official currency. Take, for example, the Spanish 2010 2 euro-cent coin, which features a stylized portrait of Miguel de Cervantes, Saavedra, the famous author of Don Quixote. The portrait is distinct and the inscription surrounding it is the Spanish word España, with the year 2010 prominently displayed. The 2010 2 cent coin from Germany features the iconic oak twig, a symbol of strength and stability deeply rooted in German history, with the year 2010 clearly marked along with a specific mint mark. The Finnish coin features a heraldic lion and the year 2010. Every single coin tells a different story, a different national symbol, a different artistic choice. In fact, because of the requirement to include the 12 stars of the European Union around the perimeter and the year of issue 2010, the inner design is often tightly constrained, making the artistic choices on these small coins all the more significant. The year 2010 is significant because of the sheer volume and the subtle variations that occurred within that minting period. The combined mintages of the 2 cent coin from all countries in 2010 often run into the hundreds of millions. When you are minting coins at that scale, errors are inevitable. Small mistakes in the minting process, a faint doubling of the image or rotation of the die, a slight deviation in the metal composition, or a misplacement of the date can transform a 2-cent coin into a highly sought-after collectible. These errors are the numismatic equivalent of a lottery ticket. The 2010 2 cent coin is not subject to the same kind of highly publicized commemorative issues as the 2 coin. Only the 2 coin is used for commemorative runs that draw widespread attention. This lack of high-profile limited edition commemorative runs for the 2 cent coin means that the only true rarities are the ones created by accident. The errors, the misstrikes, and the low mintage years from certain smaller nations are what drive collector value. The year 2010 is not inherently rare across the board, but certain issuing countries had unusually low mintage figures that year, making their 2010 2-cent coins highly unique and desirable. The Italian minting error, which occurred on a different low denomination cent, but is often confused with this coin, illustrates the concept perfectly. In that famous case, a 1-cent coin was struck with the image of the mole Antonelliana, which should have only appeared on the 2-cent coin. That mistake, a coin struck with the wrong face, instantly elevated its value from 1 cent to thousands of euros. While the 2010 2 cent coin does not have such a widespread dramatic single error, the subtle variations across the countries offer a different type of treasure hunt. Consider the different mint marks. On German coins, for instance, the mint mark is a small letter identifying the specific mint that produced the coin. A is for Berlin, D for Munich, F for Stuttgart, G for Karlsruhe, and J for Hamburg. The varying production volumes between these mints mean that a specific mark for a specific year, like 2010, may be significantly rarer than others. For the 2010 2 cent coin, the subtle difference in a tiny letter can be the difference between face value and a decent collector price. The sheer difficulty of acquiring certain 2010 coins from some of the smaller microstates like Monaco, San Marino, Andorra, or Vatican City, even for a commonly minted coin like the 2 cent, means that the circulation numbers are inherently low. These countries often mint their coins primarily for collector sets, meaning the number that actually enter public circulation is tiny. If you find a 2010 2 cent coin from one of these microstates in your change, you are holding a piece of legitimate numismatic rarity far above its face value, because their mintage numbers in 2010 were exceptionally small. The journey of the 2010 2 cent coin is also a reflection of Europe's own evolving economic priorities. Countries like Finland, Belgium, Ireland, Italy, and the Netherlands had either officially or unofficially adopted a policy of Swedish rounding, where cash transactions are rounded to the nearest 5 cents. This practice means that the 1 and 2 cent coins were either not issued or were issued in extremely limited quantities for collectors only. This policy shift means that the circulation of these coins is being deliberately suppressed, making the 2010 issues, even the relatively common ones, into pieces of history that are no longer being actively replaced. The material of the coin, copper-plated steel, has its own story. The initial period of the euro's launch required enormous quantities of new coinage to replace the legacy currencies. The use of copper-plated steel was a pragmatic choice to manage costs and ensure a consistent aesthetic with a higher denomination coppery red cents. However, the plating process itself can lead to errors such as weak plating or surface defects that collectors prize as unique deviations from the standard. The 2010 issues are stable, but minute variations in the steel core or copper plating are always possible. Furthermore, the edge of the 2010 2 € coin is not milled as smooth, but features a continuous groove running circumferentially around the edge. This simple feature is a key part of the coin's accessibility and anti-counterfeiting measures. It allows visually impaired individuals to easily distinguish the coin from other denominations. This technical specification is uniform across all issuing countries, a quiet example of Europe-wide cooperation. The value of any specific 2010 2 € coin hinges on a complex interplay of three factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Rarity is determined by low mintage numbers or minting errors specific to the 2010 production year. Condition is measured using numismatic standards like uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated, which means the coin has no signs of wear and retains its original luster. Demand is driven by the collective market, which constantly shifts based on what specific 2010 coins numismatists are currently pursuing. For a common coin like the 2010 2 € coin, finding one in perfect uncirculated condition is challenging because they are constantly in circulation and quickly pick up scratches and scuffs. This makes a clean, pristine example of any 2010 2 € coin from any country more valuable than one found in pocket change. The year of issue 2010 is a critical indicator because it aligns with specific national designs, mint marks, and production quantities that vary greatly. The simple act of checking the year 2010 and the issuing country on the national side is the first and most important step in the treasure hunt for unique or rare 2010 issues. Every coin is a data point in a vast monetary system. Thank you for watching the entire video. You can tell us in the comments what we should make the next video about.